Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. So, hi everybody. Thanks for joining. This is to kick off our Martin Luther King Jr. commemoration and was planned through our Martin Luther King Jr. committee. We appreciate Craig's willingness today to jump into our conversation. So, to begin, do you mind just sharing a story of how you became involved in any particular cause or movement?
Yeah, I would say like it started way back in high school when I was around 16. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I was engaged with the Temple University collaborative group called Presenting Our Perspective on Philly Youth News, and we kind of investigated a report on Black Lives Matter early in its inception, and from there, like junior year, that was right before junior year. Junior year was very much engaged with like public education within like Philadelphia, like public funding, just learning about the politics of it, and throughout that time, like engaging with public education and also art education. Um, like I presented um, with a local Philly group that was funded through the school district called Engaging Males of Color and First Person Arts, and it was just about trying to get youth and young men, Black, Latinx, just like youth of color, to engage with Philadelphia, tell their stories, and try to, um, you know, embrace the reality of what it means to grow up in Philly. Uh, and like throughout that, it was very much off and on activism in terms of my work. But senior year was really engaged with youth theater and telling stories about uh, honestly, we had no discretion over that, but the stories that we taught with my theater group, Childhood's Lost, was all about just again telling the reality of what it means to grow up in Philly or within any kind of urban setting, just the realities of that and trying to engage with it and humanizing the people that grow up within those realities. Uh, Very recently, junior year in college, um, through a community psychology course, we were involved with Susquehanna Valley. I mean, Greater United Way in Susquehanna Valley. And throughout my time there, unfortunately, it was cut short because of COVID. And but Joanne had a lot of good ideas in terms of engaging with the youth in those rural communities, and trying to get their stories out because we talked about the kind of the differences. Sorry, I am outside. I apologize.
That's okay, you're fine.
Differences between urban and rural communities and how some tend to get more publicized than others. And I think that was a reality check for me as someone from Philadelphia coming to Bucknell. And right now, it's been very off and on. I would say I am a fellow for a program that is sponsored by the Public Health Department um, with the Village of Arts and Humanities called I'm a youth design fellow, so we're designing like programs and concerns based on what the community needs, based on what the community tells us they need, honestly. Um, and we're working with a group called the Youth Health Corps with a bunch of different other sectors and community groups called like us. We're the Youth Design Fellowship, and there's also Yeah Philly that kind of tackles ages ranges from like 12 to 18. Um, so yeah, and throughout like high school and college right now, like I've been actively engaged with like mirror arts, and I think that's been a lot of that has the murals that we've painted has to do a lot with like reclaiming land, and also
Mhm.
trying to engage with the youth and community in terms of restorative and transformative justice. Um, and currently, right now, I'm a volunteer for well, just applied to be a volunteer for the National Alliance of Mental Illness here in Philly. So
Mhm.
trying to start and engage with an art group with them in ways in which we can combine those psychological, educational, and artistic spaces.
Mhm. That's awesome. And what sparked you? Do you want to go a little into that?
Um, I would say I had a principal in high school. His name is Sharif MLK. He was a big pillar in terms of like the ways in which he kind of added that kind of activism into the curriculum of the education, and a lot, and just various people that I've met throughout my life. Currently working with uh, an organizer named Michael O'Brien. I've worked with theater groups. Um, yeah, it's been a multifaceted thing. It definitely has been just an evolution of people in my life that have really inspired me to tackle, in addition to my family, that have really
Mhm.
been a big support group in my life.
Oh, awesome. What would you say your day to day looks like?
It's very sporadic. Um, it very much depends if I have classes or not, but oftentimes it
Hmm.
can range from just signing up for a random volunteer opportunity. The fellowship is pretty much time Tuesday, Thursday, Friday from 4:30 to 6. And so right now, like with all the free time that I have, it's really just finishing up some work and trying to volunteer.
Hmm. Oh, great. And then just one last question. What would you say sustains you?
Um, Probably my family, honestly, and just Philadelphia in general. I think growing up in Philly has had a really effective and profound kind of effect on me, and a lot of the things that I've learned and have experienced and been through have definitely been because, like, Philadelphia as a city has challenged me in many ways, but I've also learned a lot from being here in Philly. So
Hmm. Awesome. Well, thank you for joining today, and thank you to everyone for watching. That wraps up our first live, and we have another one at 1, so I hope you can all join again. Thank
thank you,
you,
Bella.
Craig.
Have a good one.
You too. Bye.